It started with a mess, a cluttered desk, forgotten petri dishes, and one man who didn't clean up. In 1928, Scottish scientist Alexander Fleming returned from a vacation to find that a bit of mold had killed off the surrounding bacteria in one of his plates. Where others might have tossed it away, Fleming leaned in. That single act of curiosity would go on to save over 200 million lives. This is not just the story of penicillin, it's the story of how observation, persistence, and collaboration reshaped modern medicine. Fleming had always been intrigued by the invisible war between microbes. Working at St. Mary's Hospital in London, he was searching for substances that could kill harmful bacteria without harming the patient, a sort of magic bullet. But penicillin wasn't discovered in a thunderclap of brilliance. It was a slow unraveling. The mold that contaminated his dish was Penicillium notatum, and it had secreted a substance that wiped out Staphylococcus bacteria nearby. Fleming took notes, made slides, and wrote about his findings in 1929. But at the time, few took notice. The extract was unstable and hard to purify. Fleming, more a bacteriologist than a chemist, knew he had stumbled on something extraordinary, but he couldn't quite make it usable. For nearly a decade, penicillin was forgotten. Then, in the late 1930s, a team at Oxford, Howard Florey, Ernst Boris Chain, and Norman Heatley, picked up where Fleming left off. They didn't just rediscover penicillin, they refined it, scaled it, and tested it in humans. Their first clinical trial in 1941 showed miraculous results. But penicillin was so scarce that when the first patient died, the team had even tried to recover the drug from his urine. The real breakthrough came during World War II, when the Allies, seeing penicillin's potential, threw their weight into mass production. Factories in the US began producing it at scale, and by D-Day in 1944, penicillin was available to treat thousands of wounded soldiers. Infections that once killed millions, like pneumonia, syphilis, and gangrene, could now be treated effectively. It changed surgery, childbirth, and wound care forever. Alexander Fleming, Florey, and Chain shared the Nobel Prize in 1945, but Fleming never let the fame overshadow his warning. Misuse of antibiotics could breed resistance. He predicted what we now face today, the rise of superbugs. Yet, none of this would have happened if Fleming had just cleaned his lab a little more thoroughly. His messy desk and curious mind gave birth to the age of antibiotics. The story of penicillin is a story of chance met with preparation, of discovery advanced by teamwork, and of a world changed not by force, but by fungus. It reminds us that breakthroughs often come quietly, through the cracks of everyday life. Penicillin didn't just fight disease, it redefined our relationship with death. Because one man paused long enough to wonder why his bacteria had vanished, humanity gained decades of life. We often think progress comes from grand designs, but sometimes it starts with mold on a dish. The smallest things can spark the greatest change.